always very exciting every time we come around to talk about it. Of course, it's another weekend. Another weekend is upon us, and we're here to look at how our African stars will be performing or will be faring across the major leagues across Europe this weekend. I welcome you to Nigeria Super Fans Forum. My name is Olafemi Ashalu, and today on the show, so much to talk about. And of course, like they say, charity begins. We'll be looking at the development coming out from FIFA. Former Super Eagles technical advisor, talking about Gernot Rohr, has dragged the Nigerian Football Federation before the international body over the way he was sacked. And of course, being old, is demanding for a $1 million compensation. Can you believe that? And of course, a member of the Nigeria Football Federation Technical Committee is demanding for a face-to-face interview with the 4 coaches that have been shortlisted for the vacant position in the Super Eagles. And of course, in Ghana, today, of course, we'll be looking at the development coming out from the Ghana Football Federation. That referee that took charge of Ashanti Kotoko and Out of Oak again is in trouble, big trouble. And we'll be doing that today. Of course, I have a usual suspect in the studio, though he's not wanted by anyone. Kade Obindare is very much around. Kade.
Thank you for that clarification. Thank you for that clarification.
It's about our fans out there.
Well, I'm always available. I'm always ready to meet them.
Okay, so another weekend, it says so much from Kayode, but the news coming out from FIFA is that Gernot Rohr, at the time you were doing like a free publicity for Gernot Rohr on the show, but that is done. We've forgotten about that. He has dragged the NFF before FIFA and is asking for $1 million compensation over the manner he was dismissed from his job. And of course, he was owed.
Yeah, I like the end part of your submission that he was owed. Let's establish that fact that the NFF is owing when he was relieved of his duty. Now, there are contractual obligations. When you sign contracts, Femi, it is assumed that you're going to see it out to the letter. And there will be clauses in your letter that if I am sacked before the expiration of this contract, or if I get another job and I have to leave, there will be compensations to be paid both ways. So obviously, probably there were those clauses in his contract, and that's why he feels sufficiently empowered to go to FIFA to ask for the $1 million. I hope reason will prevail, but if it doesn't, then contracts must be obeyed.
Really, I think if on the side of reason, if you have to look at it, according to what we got from the grapevine, is the terms in Rohr's contract was if he met certain parameters, of which he did. Okay. Remember, as at the time he was sacked, Nigeria had already booked a place in the playoff.
Yeah.
The federation was not just satisfied with the performance of the team. So, to some extent, you can argue that Rohr was justified.
Of course, he is. And that's why I said, let the arbitration be the decider of who is right and who is wrong. We can only make conjectures here about what we think, which is subjective anyway, because we are Nigerians, we have to think about the motherland. But the truth of the matter is, this is not about Rohr alone. It is a test on the NFF. Now we're searching for another coach. Everybody out there is watching keenly to see how this is going to pan out. If we do not treat this case with merit, if we do not treat Rohr with justice, then those coaches who are coming in will feel like, you know what? It's just like you trying to kill a chicken and there are other chickens around watching you. I say, so each time this man says we should come inside, this is what he has as plans for us. So we have to be careful about what we say and what we do and how we do it going forward until this Rohr issue is sufficiently settled.
Okay, still talking about the case of Nigeria not having a coach yet. Remember that the draws for the qualifiers for the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations was conducted days ago, and Super Eagles are yet to have a coach who will be in charge. Remember, the games will be kicking off on the 30th of May, that is next month. They're still talking about that. A member of the NFF technical committee, I'm talking about Dairu Sadi, has demanded that the Nigerian Football Federation Executive Committee should allow the technical committee to hold a one-on-one, a face-to-face meeting with each of these coaches. Remember that there were news that Pasero will be favored, but again, the sport ministry intervened and said all the coaches should be given a level playing field, since the federal government will be involved in paying the salaries of the new coach. But Sadi is saying, give us the opportunity to hold a one-on-one meeting with these 4 coaches. Kayode, I don't think that should be a brainer. It should be a major criteria.
The question is, who shortlisted these poor coaches in the first place?
The technical committee recommended them to the executive.
On the basis of what were those recommendations made?
People had applied for the job when Rohr was sacked, according to the committee.
Yeah. So they now shortlisted those 4 out of those who applied.
Yes.
And now
like
they want
a recommendation. They were asked to recommend, and they picked 4
they
out of
picked
those
the 4.
Yeah.
And now they now want to meet those 4.
Yes.
In order to determine who is suitable. Then I think, like you said, it shouldn't be a no-brainer, a brainer. But see, the thing about that position now, where it is dangerous, is a two-edged sword. One of the problems the NFF has now is, left to Amaju Pinnick, he would have loved to hire a grade 1 coach like Mourinho, like Pep Guardiola, but he's constrained by lack of funds. So this lack of funds is at the heart of everything. Owing Rohr, not knowing who and who to employ. Even the coaches, the indigenous coaches that were appointed a few days ago, I'm not sure where the salaries will come from. See, it's sad, but that's the honest truth.
I think Pinnick actually raised that concern after.
It is the truth. It is the truth. Femi, it is the truth. See, sometimes Pinnick blusters a lot, so you don't know that behind that bluster there's nothing as such. You understand? But the truth is there's no money, so they still depend on what the NFF brings, what the government brings. So for me, I think we should basically, you want to fly these coaches to Nigeria, interview at whose expense? Where are you are going to fly them in first class, obviously, keep them in a 5-star hotel. At the end of the day, you know that you are going to have only one recommendation.
No, that interview was perhaps suggesting that if a number of people can be maybe given the responsibility to travel and meet them.
Maybe let's continue.
But I think what's the concern that Sadi raised, this issue should be a no-brainer.
I'm not going to say much. Derek Sadi is an ex-international, very top, accomplished player, and incidentally, he and I are in one WhatsApp group, and I don't want to say anything here that he will not tackle me in that group. So let's just leave it there. Let's leave it there, Femi. I don't want to say much more than that.
Well, that is the state of where we are right now as far as hiring a new coach for the Super Eagles of Nigeria is concerned. We don't even know who it is. Everybody thought it was going to be Pasero, but since the Ministry of Sport intervened and said, come on, give everybody a level playing field, I think the situation is gradually changing. But in the end, who knows? It could still be Pasero. Let's quickly go on this very brief break. Now we're about to talk about what is happening in Ghana. Like I told you, Kenny Paddy, the referee who took charge of the Asante Kotoko and out of hook game in the Ghana Premier League, is in trouble. And of course, Asamoah Gyan is talking to Ghanaians about their hopes for the 2022 FIFA World Cup that will be taking place in Qatar. Please stay with us. Welcome back. That is still Nigeria Super Fans. Of course, we've been discussing issues right here in Nigeria. Now, currently, we are singing girls now, just traveling across the border now to our friendly neighbors. Currently, we came to talk about the game between Asante Kotoko and, of course, the Hearts of Hope. It was the game of the week in the Ghana Premier League 2 weeks ago. And now, the referee is in trouble.
Exactly.
He gave a penalty that decided the game. But again, after review, it was found that it was very dubious.
Exactly. And we saw clips of that game. And Femi, without a VAR, without an extra pair of glasses. Yes, without an extra pair of glasses, because it was like some few meters from the spot.
Come on, no.
It was Femi, there will see when incidents like that happen. The first thing you consider is the position of the referee. Where is he? In this occasion, the referee was just some few meters away from the action, so he saw everything clearly. And by no stretch of the imagination can you call that a foul.
Kyle, sorry to cut. Is it that players are not a caution for simulations anymore? Because I do not understand. I think that Ashanti Kotoko player should have been given a caution for.
Well, that's if, in the opinion of the referee, if the referee feels he simulated that for. But the action I saw, and you saw we had a replay over and over again, was somebody who just lost his footing. He wasn't trying to get the other player into trouble. Yes, he was down. Not that the other player pushed him or anything. He fell down and he was quick to get off his feet. He wasn't lying there. If he had lay down there, then that means maybe he was simulating a foul. He wasn't. Let's be very, very honest. It was the coach, it was the referee, sorry, who dashed him a penalty. And who is he to say no? He accepted it gratefully. So for me, it's not about the player now. It's about the. And unfortunately, as much as I am happy that the GFA has done the right thing by sanctioning the referee
for the rest
of the season, unfortunately, that result will stand. That's the injustice. That is the injustice. Whatever the referee does on the field of play, the result will stand. It is an injustice that result is going to stand. If we agree that the incident leading to the goal, to the penalty that led to the goal, was not an incident. But then, in this case, we cannot blame the GFA. It is standard FIFA regulations that the result will stand, but you can punish the referee.
Kayode, my concern is African football, I think we're still far behind.
Okay.
There's no doubt about that. But if we can afford to acquire VAR for a World Cup playoff, then why can't we have a couple of them in our various leagues? I think the VAR will have, it's just an honest opinion, I think a VAR will have given the referee the opportunity to see that incident one more time. I think, and it just tells of quality of refereeing.
But from the summary of the decision to discipline the referee, I saw where it was said that the referee in his referee's report tried to justify his action. So that means that even
said the out of foot player
stepped on the other player. Thank God for TV.
Yeah.
We saw that there was nothing like that.
Then again, he said there was a push.
He said there was a push. We saw that there was nothing like that again. Then that means even if there was VAR, the referee could still decide that, you know what, I've made up my mind, it was a foul, he will give the foul. Now, one thing I want you to understand, Femi, is that, see, in refereeing, FIFA or football, there's the FIFA rules of the game. That's the Bible of the sport. The most important, the most powerful phrase is, in the opinion of the referee. That's what FIFA says. If you read the rules of the regulation, I think article 7 or 14 that deals with refereeing, officiating.
So take decision.
It is that in the opinion of the referee. In fact, all the articles, all the sections there start with in the opinion of the referee. If the referee decides that this is a foul, it is a foul. If the referee decides this is a goal, it is a goal. The assistant linesman, the match commissioner, everybody can only advise. The final decision is that of the referee.
But that referee was just too quick to point to the center.
Because he was anticipating the penalty. Because in games of that magnitude, you should be circumspect. You should know when to make calls. You should be 100% sure.
So the stadium was jammed.
Yeah, you should be 100% sure. And in that case, I'm not sure he was even 40% sure. Because maybe in his defense, maybe we had the benefit of hindsight. We saw the replay over and over again. It did not have that. Yeah, if there was VAR, maybe he would have had a second opinion. But then, again, if he decides in his opinion that was a penalty, there's nothing anybody could have done. So now he's left to carry the can.
Let's still remain with Ghana. Ghana legend Asamoah Gyan is telling Ghanaians to lower their expectations for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Ghana.
Did you say anything new? Of course.
Well, maybe a lot of people thought, maybe a lot of Ghanaians will think that, on Nigeria, for us to be able to overcome Nigeria, then we should be able, maybe perhaps go as far as quarterfinals. Well,
if they think about going up to the quarterfinal, that's a legitimate aspiration. It is a legitimate aspiration for all African teams.
Legitimate.
But
not true assessment of the situation.
No, see, Femi, going to a competition and actually being in the competition, there's something. Wait, Femi, wait. See, let me say something. There's something that they call tournament bounce, momentum. When you get to a competition, you just win your first game, and that will just fire you up, and before you know it, you get the rub of the green, you keep going. Before you know it, before in 2010, nobody in their wildest imagination thought Ghana was going to go that far. They were like inches from the semi-finals in their very first attempt. So for me, there's what they call a tournament momentum that you just have, you just keep going. The key is starting well. Once you start well, you can go as far as you think you can go. So for me, I'm not advocating that Ghana will win the World Cup, but I'm saying they can go as far as they believe that they can. So what Asamoah has said, it is also right to an extent that they should lower the expectation, because there will be fans who will think, you know what, if in 2010 we got to the quarterfinals, what's stopping us from going all the way to the final? Yeah, we have to lower expectations. Promise small, deliver more. Which is better for your heart, for your heart, heart condition. So I think he is right. Then the Ghanaians who also expect their team to do well, they also have that expectation, and it's a very, very legitimate one.
Okay, and he is also offering, or he's looking forward to training the Ghanaian strikers before the World Cup Caribbean. And I was asking.
I don't know about that.
I'm telling you.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I don't know where that's coming from. I don't know where that is coming from. He's offering to train who and who.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. We are saying the same thing. Where are the strikers?
See, like I always say.
We saw that again in the playoff. It was, if not for Otoado's tactical ingenuity.
That ingenuity, if something works for you, you can only fine tune it. You don't just abandon it. That worked for them. It could also carry them so far. So for me, I think Asamoah should just rest this. Allow those who have been paid to do this job, let them do their job.
All right, let's quickly go on this very brief break now. When we return, we'll be back to talk about our African players who will be in action this weekend. Please stay with us. All right, welcome back, and still Nigeria Super Fans Room, of course. Kayode and I, we've been having fun in the studio. I hope, of course, you are enjoying yourselves too. Kayode, let's look at the league this weekend in Europe. Of course, the leagues across Europe are getting to the business end now. Those who will be relegated are already sending their bags gradually to the championship or to whatever, and then we will be playing next season. Of course, that's the truth. But let's look at, of course, Leicester City in the Premier League. Let's start with the Premier League now. Leicester City, of course, we have 4 African contingents. We have Daniel Amate, Ademola Lookman, Kelechi Iheanacho, of course, and Pat Sendaka to be in action against Aston Villa. Do you think these guys have given a good account of themselves for the season? Yeah,
I think so. And funny enough, you know the guy who has impressed me the most, this Pat Sendaka, because this is a young man who just came from practically nowhere, and I met him, I think in 2017. Very young boy. Very, very young boy, and he's showing with his enthusiasm the way he runs for the ball, the way he takes on responsibility.
From the age.
Exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He was in the same this generation of Zambian players that we were talking about the last time. That God knows where all of them are just falling to. Hopefully, they can get their acts together now. And the more they keep doing well for their national team, there's Enoch Mwepu. I think he was part of the team I met there. There's Fashion Sakala. All of them, a whole lot of them like that. I saw them.
Plays with Rangers.
Yes,
with Nigerian players.
Exactly. So Enoch also plays in the Premier League with I think Brighton. So these are I see the future of Zambian football very, very bright in these young players. And for me, he is coming into the Premier League and doing very, very well in his first year. I think it's something to be proud of.
Since Arsenal defeated Chelsea, the whole world is in resting, but this weekend they will be entertaining Manchester United at the Emirates Kayode. Of course, we saw that game against Chelsea. They are still missing Thomas Partey. That cannot be disputed. But for the Premier League this weekend, it's going to be the game of the week because of the top 4. Because of the top 4.
You know what? I'm not even smiling. I'm laughing.
You are laughing.
Yeah, I'm laughing. And you know why I'm laughing? Because you sat here the other day and you said they are losing games because Partey is not there. Now they are winning. You see, say they are winning because Partey is not there. Tell me, can you just make up your mind?
I think they met a Chelsea that didn't take that game seriously.
Femi, you are now disrespecting.
If Chelsea had played that game,
you are even disrespecting
of the Champions League.
You are still disrespecting Chelsea.
Our fans, I think you should be the judge of that game. Okay, let's move on now. Manchester City, Watford, Kayode.
Yes.
Super Eagles contingent.
I think I had a dream. I had a dream
that they got relegated.
They got
I'm just telling you before you say it, I've already
I had a dream that they got relegated, so there's nothing to talk about. The season is over for them. I don't see them. There's no in these last 5 games. I don't see them playing.
And this particular time that Manchester City, they will be as ruthless as
they have to be. They don't see, like I said.
The point between them and Liverpool.
You know the very funny thing now. The pressure is actually on Man City.
You can't afford.
You cannot afford to drop points. What Liverpool will be doing is just to wait, win their games and wait. The pressure is on you. At the end of the day, if you win the league, nobody will castigate Liverpool because they've given you a good run for your money. So it is you now that you have to make sure that you do not lose the title. Don't forget I said the title is theirs to lose. Now it is upon them not to lose the title. For Liverpool, they'll just be cruising. Win their games and relax. Like when after they defeated Man U, they were relaxed.
Did you call that defeat?
Okay, what?
Disgraced.
I'm willing to go with you. After the disgraced Man U,
and your best defender, Maguire, was played in that game for 90 minutes.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know Maguire?
I do not know you.
You don't know any player.
I don't.
There will be a Messi side derby this weekend.
Yeah, exactly.
Liverpool, Everton are also struggling. The game against Leicester City, we thought they were going to win. But again, they had to even come from a behind late in the game. Do you think they might also drop this year?
The thing there is like
remember Alex Iwobi has been one of the players.
Like I just said a few moments ago, now Liverpool cannot afford not to win because in order to have a chance to overtake Man City, you have to win your games first. At the best of times, they know they have the key to everything. Yes, sir. Now I don't see them not winning this game. Although, like we always say, derbies are not predictable. You cannot say where it's going to swing. But I don't just want to even imagine Liverpool not taking the maximum points. And they don't have to win by a cricket score. You just need to win by 0.5 if possible. Just win by 0.5 and just wait for Man City to make the mistakes. Andre
Ayew and of course Wilfred Zaha will be in action when Crystal Palace when they host the Leeds United Carriage. I think this guy is particularly Zaha. I think again this season he's been the main man for Crystal Palace.
For the past few seasons since he made that misadventure to Man U and went back.
Is this a misadventure?
It was totally a totally forgettable move, which shouldn't have had. He did not. To be fair, he did not. But he has shown over time that he had the quality. Because if you are counting players now, you count him ahead of many Man United players now. Yeah, that's the truth. If not all, that's the truth. But Zaha has shown over time. It could be infuriating sometimes. He tends to overdo things sometimes, but he is a top player. And this season, he has shown it under a different manager again. Because, see, one thing we have to give credit to players for is when you play under different managers and you keep your game up, then it shows that you have something that is sustaining you. So he doesn't have anything to prove to anybody again. Only, I think it is time for him to move on from Crystal Palace.
Okay. Last season, Achraf Hakimi helped Inter Milan win their first Scudetto in so many years. Yeah. And again, this weekend, he could be on the verge of winning the French Ligue 1 when the host learns.
Yes.
Kayode, again, that guy going to the World Cup is a key man, one of the key players for Morocco.
Yeah, I would rather talk about him and his impact for Morocco. There's no saying that PSG will win the league, the Farmers League.
No, I'm talking about his performance. Yeah. He came into the team that shirt, they just handed over the shirt.
You cannot hide when you are good, you're good. He has shown it at Inter, he got there, he's also showing it. You understand? So for me, I hope and I pray too that he takes that form to the World Cup. Fine, I know that he's not going to play with his PSG colleagues at the World Cup. He's going to play with Morocco. But this form, sometimes when you go into a tournament with a certain kind of form, it helps you, it can even help lift the team. The fact that you are playing at the top club like PSG will help you to lift your national team too.
Okay, so Kayode, we have a Lorient, they will be traveling to Rennes. Of course, Osman Bakari, the Ghanaian, and our own Moses Simon will be in action. And then next month, they have the French Cup. The final will be coming up, I think, against Nice. But recently, how would you describe Moses Simon?
Well, I think
since the playoff,
I think the tempo has dropped a bit, and I hope he can rediscover himself in good time. The tempo has dropped. And in this business, you have to be consistent. If you're not, you are as good as your last game. You are as good as your last game.
Okay. Okay. For the sake of time, now let's quickly talk about the other games. In the Dutch league, we have Sparta Rotterdam. Last weekend, our Maduka Okoye saved a penalty, and it was fantastic, and he helped the team run away with a 3 point. So in the Dutch league now, Sparta Rotterdam, of course, they climbed to the top of the table, and of course, we're having Sivre Desert. He will be playing when his team hosts Utrecht. And let's really talk about the Ghanaian Premier League now. Kayode, this is week 26. Accra Lions will be hosting Hearts of Oak. I hope this time there won't be another dubious penalty.
Is the Accra Derby now?
Yeah, there won't be another dubious penalty.
Hopefully.
And Great Olympics will be hosting Ashanti Gold, Ashanti Kotoko, of course, who were at the recipient of that benevolence. They will be hosting Legion Cities. Berecom Chelsea. Did I call that correctly?
Yeah.
Berecom Chelsea will be hosting Edwana Stars. I got that correctly. Okay, so Beckham United will be hosting Karela United. Kyle, what should we be looking out for this weekend in the Ghanaian Premier League?
I think we should be looking at Accra as of Oak. Seizing against Accra Lions, seizing the opportunity of playing in Accra, even though they are away, to climb up the table. It's something when you see these giants struggling at the fifth of position on the table. So they need as many points as possible. This is as well as playing at home for them. So I think they need all 3 points, and I hope they get it.
In the Nigerian, Professional Football League, our producer is telling us, come on guys, let's go now. Rangers will be hosting Kwara United, Katsina United. They will be traveling to Gombe. I hope they won't trek because, of course, you remember what Kano Pillars fans do to their boss. Sunshine Stars, of course, will be traveling to Kano Pillars. Remember, Kano now they will now be playing in Abuja. And I hope they've paid their fine.
They have to
replace that boss that their fans.
The governor of Kano State has offered to replace the boss.
What will he have done before?
No, he could say the club should go and find the means to replace it.
Where will Kano Pillars get 9 million? I mean, the players will not get paid for the rest of the year. Wiki Tourist will be hosting Outland, struggling Outland, owing players, owing managers. Plateau United, they want to continue. Of course, they are trailing Rivers United on the table. Yes. They will be hosting Remo Stars. Abia Warriors will be hosting another struggling side, MFM. And Shooting Stars, that is Kayode's home club. Yeah, if you don't know, Shooting Stars of Ibadan.
The great Shooting Stars. The great Shooting Stars.
They will be hosting another struggling Enyimba. Enyimba lost 2-0 away to Rivers United last week, Kayode. So in the Premier League, as we leave the studio, what should we be looking out for? What is the game of the week for you?
For me, it's always Shooting Stars against anything. That would be my game of the week.
So you think Enyimba should be able to get something over Fedidi Joy this time?
We should, and we must. We cannot afford not to. We must.
So will you be traveling for the game?
Unfortunately, I won't because I have a family event to attend to on that particular day. I wish it were some other time I would have made the short trip to Ibadan to watch the game.
Okay, so please keep your comments coming on our YouTube platform. I'll quickly take a few time to read a couple of your comments before we run out of the studio. And of course, please don't forget to continue to like our page right there. And this Chris Adu Williams, he said, you guys are amazing. I'm watching you live from London, UK. I am from Ghana, but I love your program. You always give us true sport. Keep it up. Thanks. Guys, Kayode, all the way from the United Kingdom.
We are happy.
This is Johnny. He said, I am Ghanaian and I love you guys. God bless you guys. Keep up the good work. Abdulaziz Mustafa, also from Ghana. He said, I'm from Ghana and I always love to listen to you guys. Keep it up. We did together. Niger and Ghana.
Yes,
okay, let's read a couple from some Nigerians. Ghanaians, they've literally taken over this thing.
Well, it's good. It's for the fans. Wherever you are, one fan, one voice.
So this particular one, Kayode, he said, this Temitope Babalola, he said, Kayode Ogundare is a legend and our next NFF president.
I didn't know about that. I don't know about that.
Temitope Babalola says so.
I don't know about that. I didn't get that memo.
So, you know, I said we don't know the contest. I said it, I think, last week that we don't know.
Okay.
I think the producer and I will meet. We will
buy a phone for me. You. Why don't you give me the money to buy the phone?
100 million, like the president.
Give me the money to buy the phone,
no, let's buy. We need to fix the ground football. I hope you enjoy yourself. Just as, of course, we are enjoying ourselves right now in the studio. Like I said, please keep on liking our YouTube page and please share as much as possible. And your comment also. please
Keep them coming.
Kai Dobindare, thanks for coming.
It's always a
today on
pleasure.
the show. Okay, and to our producer, I will say thank you for doing a good job. Until we come your way again, I remain Oluwafemi Ashalu. Have a fantastic time for yourself.
Right.